Whoa, finally, Olimar, you're back. I know you're probably eager to see your family or whatever, but we've got an emergency.
But I just...
Not now. Look, our new hire Louie here just came back from his first ever delivery of a horde of golden Pikmin carrots when he was attacked by a giant ravenous space bunny who ate the entire cargo. Luckily, poor Louie managed to escape unscathed, but we sorta weren't insured for the shipment, so now our company is liquidating all assets in hopes of avoiding bankruptcy, starting with that old ship of yours. But even with that old bucket of bolts repoed, we're still over 10,000 Pokos in the hole. Wait, what are you holding there?
It's from my son.
Give it here! Why, this must be worth over 100 Pokos alone! Wherever did you get this? You're going right back this instant, and don't you come back until you've collected enough cash to dig us out of the red. Go on, go, debt! You too, Bozo. Now I've got some debt collectors to evade. And that is exactly how Pikmin 2 starts. We don't get enough sequels that can pull off the same creativity as their originals as it is. And then there's Pikmin 2, the diamond in the rough sequel that straight up overtakes Pikmin 1 in practically every way. What do you even do after Pikmin 1? Olimar collected all of his broken ship parts with the help of the local Pikmin and escaped the planet before his life support systems failed. You can't just do that again! Even though that's exactly what Pikmin 3 and 4 did, but who's counting? Pikmin 2 bravely experiments with all new hazards and challenges while still creatively operating within the same puzzle-solving strategy management gameplay of the original. We're going back to that horrifying war zone of a planet, not for survival, but completely, solely, and undeniably for money. And you thought it was hard to stomach watching those poor little guys die because of your failures before? Try explaining to their families that their loved ones only died to make your boss rich. This game's amazing. For starters, we now control two captains simultaneously. Your backup captain can be dismissed and swapped for control at any point, allowing for even more advanced divisions of labor than before. So the looming threat of Pikmin 1 was the 30-day time limit, but in Pikmin 2, the only thing driving you to do things quickly and efficiently before sunset is you. There is no day limit at all. Instead, the devs realized that even without it, players would still desperately try to squeeze every second they could out of their days anyway. Acting on motivational instinct, you are the reason you fight so hard to get the most out of your time. But that's just exploration on the surface, where you'll once again be fighting monsters, opening pathways with red, yellow, and blue Pikmin to discover and collect treasures. But the real genius of this new framework becomes clear in the caves scattered across the world. When you and your team dive into a cave, time effectively stops, and each floor you explore is constructed of randomly arranged enemies, treasures, and room elements. And on top of this, you won't be able to sprout any new Pikmin from fallen foes. This completely flips the game on its head. Instead of a frantic race against the clock, caves are a methodical, deadly scavenger hunt, where losing Pikmin troops permanently weakens your army as you descend deeper into the cave levels, culminating in a boss battle. These caves are amazing! You might randomly get walls to destroy that block off nothing, dangerous traps or enemies spawning right next to where you start, and treasures landing in heavily guarded locations. Or the complete opposite will happen. It's absolute chaos while you're anxiously playing everything safe one step at a time. The goal of each floor of a cave is to loot the area of its treasures while suffering the least amount of Pikmin casualties as possible. Instead of the 30 ship parts, there are now 200 treasures scattered throughout the world to discover, and each one is unique, funny, or interesting as your tiny explorers are perplexed discovering relics of human civilization. Best of all, some of these treasures actually get repurposed by your computer into helpful upgrades. An eraser gets implemented into your suit to prevent electrical shocks, and an old love tester toy gets repurposed into a treasure tracking radar. It's super cute and creative and keeps you excited to see what treasures you've yet to uncover. But that's not all caves have to offer. They are also the only place where you'll find the rare purple and white candy pop buds, which allow you to convert 5 of your Pikmin per flower into the new purple and white Pikmin. Purple Pikmin are super strong and shake the earth as they land, destroying enemies in a shockwave. They are so fat their tremors canonically rock space-time and distort the dimensions. They can also carry 10 times the weight of a normal Pikmin. However, they are painfully slow, even when flowered. And the white Pikmin are inversely weak, but very fast. fast. On top of this, they are the only Pikmin able to sense buried treasure in the ground and dig it up. They're also poisonous, greatly damaging anything unfortunate enough to eat one, but their toxic immunity also allows the white Pikmin to destroy new poisonous cloud hazards. Speaking of hazards, electricity is also new to this game, giving yellow Pikmin an elemental resistance, just as reds to fire and blues to water were from before. Electricity is extremely dangerous though, as every other hazard allows you the chance to whistle and save your afflicted Pikmin before it's too late, but if they get a shock, it's an instantaneous lights out. Bomb rocks were removed as carryable items and instead become hazards to avoid. This was likely due to yellows getting too many abilities and bomb rocks leading to more accidents than anything in Pikmin 1. Aside from all the new creative ideas like flattening paper bags to explore new zones, there's actually one more secret type of Pikmin hidden in the depths of the most dangerous caves. After losing most of your ranks to the treacherous, unforgiving caverns, you might encounter a strange bulborb leading a swarm of tiny babies behind it. However, these creatures all have leaves, just like Pikmin, and by defeating the parent and whistling the offspring, you'll recruit the hideous abominations known as Bulbmin. Bulbmin are amazing. Though they'll never follow you out of a cave like your other Pikmin, the Bulbmin actually resist all of the game's hazards at once, and are the only way to actually gain Pikmin while exploring in a cave. You can even toss them into a candy pop bud in order to trade them for real Pikmin colors if you decide to give up their undeniable utility. Olimar's notes shed light on these odd creatures as a parasitic orange Pikmin that infects its host after being consumed by taking over its body from the inside and weaving its roots into the creature's nervous system. I love them. One last big addition to the game, yes there's more, is the new type of nectars you can collect in doses to spray in the field. The pink ultra spicy spray gives all of your Pikmin a temporary speed and attack boost, and the purple ultra bitter spray temporarily turns your enemies into brittle stone, allowing you to deal heavy damage or even crush them outright. Pikmin 2 is so incredibly dense with genius new ideas and features that— But that's not all! Oh, my heart can't take this. As if the endlessly replayable randomized caves weren't enough for you, there's also a brand new challenge mode. Oh, cool! And two-player battle mode. Stop it, I'm gonna pee myself! Being native to the GameCube, Pikmin 2 looks nearly identical to the original, and even the landscape of the original areas get artfully reused in nearly unrecognizable inventive new ways, with each of the 4 areas representing one of the 4 seasons. The ship parts in Pikmin 1 had amusing descriptions and jingles when you collected them, but that was all. Treasures, on the other hand, all have unique descriptions and sales pitches from the computer analyzing and marketing the human artifacts you found and understand, but are completely unidentifiable to Hakatations. You even get 360 control admiring your treasures while enjoying their ignorant naming conventions for them. An apple is an insect condo, a glove is a 5-man knapsack, and Rob's head is the remembered old buddy. Oh. The GameCube release also featured fun product placement like Duracell batteries and Snapple bottle caps, which understandably got removed in favor of generic Nintendo-created brands for the re-releases on Wii and Switch. Honestly, the new updated controls and graphics alone make the Switch version the definitive edition of this game. If you insist on having your 7-Up and Dr. Pepper that much, I think you probably need to see a doctor. Many treasures are inspected closely to show off their cutting-edge reflections and renderings of real-world objects on the GameCube, and it all just looks so great that But that's not all! Not this again. This is the only Pikmin game to get its own style of clay models for all of its marketing and illustration materials. It's cute, it's creepy, and I love it. My ideal Pikmin game would all be done in this style with snappy Aardman animations and tiny clay dioramas building the entire game world. Take notes, Nintendo. If you really want me to giddily soak in my own piss screaming out of excitement, then that's how you do it. Why does it always come back to pee? Immediately after Olimar's escape in Pikmin 1, he is sent right back to the same planet with Louie in tow in hopes of gathering treasures to pay off the company's enormous debts. Now, due to an offhand gag about Olimar's ship AI being even more nagging than his own greedy boss in Pikmin 1, 2 makes good on that claim as your replacement ship's AI constantly interjects and berates the two of you. It's amusing the first couple of times, but after a while, I just wish I could just skip the chatty, redundant dialogue. Once again, the story is mostly a setup for the game and less about the events that happen along the way. Your captain and your ship's journals about the treasures more than make up for your inquisitive lore fulfillment. But there's also the new Piclopedia, a thorough bestiary in which Olimar will methodically document his scientific findings about everything he encounters, whereas Louis will scribble his own notes about how to cook and eat every single thing he happens upon, and I do mean every single thing. Once you do pay off your debt and proudly head home saying farewell to the Pikmin, Olimar looks back at the blue planet, reminiscing about his second journey when he suddenly realizes that Louis isn't in the ship. Yeah, so you actually leave Louis behind on accident, and the entire end credit sequence is watching Louis meander around the lonely ponds and grasses of the planet. You return to Hakatate Freight anyway, and with the president greedily wanting to send you and Louis back for some more money, he realizes Louis is missing. So instead, he joins you for what becomes the second half of your journey. Yes, you're only halfway done at best. Now with your ship coated in gold, Olimar and the president return to gather up every last treasure they can find, as well as, well, if it's convenient, maybe might just, I don't know, look for Louis, I guess. After collecting every single treasure, one of which requiring 100 purples to even lift, you make your way deep down to the deadliest cave yet, culminating in a boss fight with a giant titan dweevil armed with huge weapons spitting each of the 4 elements of the game, atop which proudly sits Louis. He was trying to kill us. He caused this whole mess to begin with, and now he's actually trying to kill us. Yep, and after rescuing him and tossing him in the treasure hold, you discover he now insists on being known as the King of Bugs, and the emails you've been receiving at the end of each day paint a disturbing past where Louis's grandmother bullied him and forced him to eat bugs his entire life. Now with a taste for creepy crawlies and a ravenous appetite, Louis decided to stake his claim on the only planet that could satiate his unorthodox desires. Ew. Louis ate his way into this problem, and he's determined to eat his way out of it. This game can't get any better. Olimar is very intelligent and determined. The president is very greedy, and Louis is very, very hungry. Holy cow, so get this. Every single area of the game has variant themes for which captain you're controlling, the time of day, and whether or not you're fighting or carrying treasure. That's over 20 versions of the same song that organically weave between each other when the situation demands it. Even the caves have 8 different circumstantial variations. Now that is some commitment! The music itself fluctuates between relaxing, tense, and unnerving, encapsulating everything that is the Pikmin experience. Also, the captains actually shout out their names when you swap to control them. And which apparently is a Japanese word for a greedy corporate executive, and that's not just him stating, "I'm the president," that's literally his name. That's beautiful. That's like a defense lawyer running around going, "Scumbag! Scoundrel! Slimeball! Antichrist!" If you can only play one Pikmin game, play this one. If you're not sure which of the 4 to play on Switch, well, they remastered and bundled Pikmin 1 and 2. That's half the series for less than the cost of Pikmin 3 or 4 alone. Checkmate! Buy it! Louis might just be one of the best antagonists I've ever seen. He's that awful slacker at work who steals from the vending machine, takes hour-long breaks, and manages to hold the entire company back, but just can't seem to get fired. This is the perfect scale of challenge Pikmin needed. You've got infinite days and can keep re-entering caves as many times as you want. The only reason the game is difficult is because you want to be efficient with your time. You're the reason this game is hard. Random caves also make this game infinitely replayable. Where Pikmin 1 was an arcade speed attack game, Pikmin 2 is an endless journey into the treacherous unknown. And I love it. And I love it. The positive gamer in me can't help but sprout a beautiful 9 out of 10 for Pikmin 2. Though this ship's computer can get rather irritating, that's the only thing holding this game back. It's easily one of the best games ever released on the GameCube. The critical gamer in me is enamored with Pikmin 2's creativity in full bloom with a glorious 10 out of 10. This is easily one of the greatest gaming sequels ever made, and it's an example of how outrageously good a game can become when breaking free of its own formula. But what do you think? Let us know how your positive and critical sides rate Pikmin 2 in the comments below. I never hear anybody talking about this game, so change that. If you're still gonna ignore this blazing masterpiece when it's remastered on the Switch and sitting right there, you're just playing with yourself. Alright, so just because I'm saying Pikmin 2 is probably my favorite of the entire series, these two games are also really awesome, so don't skip on these either. Pikmin 3 and 4 are both outstanding, and considering you can play all of the entire series on the Switch, and I'm not counting Hey Pikmin or Pikmin Bloom, that's awesome. Do it if you can. This is seriously not a series you want to skip on. It's incredible. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more, and use the links in the description to nominate your own episode. And thank you to all of our Patreon members, Arrow, Aspen, Genio, Lura, and Squad Fam. Boop!